I've talked before about my time in Memphis, and it was the location of a very, very deep downhill slide, which continued into a random hitchhiking trip, during which I had a ton of great adventures, and it was a wonderful experience in a lot of ways. But when I finally was dropped off in Seattle by a guy who was on his way to Alaska, and called my dad from a phone booth at South Center Mall and said, I called him up. I hadn't talked to him in weeks. I was just, just like barely surviving. And I said, "Hi, Dad, it's Gary." And he said, "Young man, we have to talk." And I said, "We certainly do. I'm at South Center parking lot. Can you please give me a ride? And can you bring $50? Because I owe this guy $50 for the ride and a couple of hamburgers." And when I got home, I weighed 118 pounds, which is seriously underweight for a guy who's 5'10". I was extremely skinny. My hair was falling out. I was malnourished. I was in terrible shape. And basically, I slept and ate for a month. My parents took me in. I went and slept in the den, and I slept and ate for a month. Gained a bunch of weight back, and headed out to downtown Seattle looking for a job. Found one right away at an Italian restaurant, and I started working my way back. And by the time 1981 rolled around, I was in perfect health again, and fitter than I've often been in my life. And I made it back and made it through. I hadn't written any songs for a while because I was in that low spot, and I did finally write a song, and I'm just going to play the first song I wrote after I arrived back in Seattle with my health recovering. It's called "Snooze Alarm." Early to bed, early to rise, all it ever give me is bloodshot eyes. 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. Pushing it once, pushing it twice, push it till noon and be mighty nice. 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. 5 more minutes, 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 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. We go out, we do it right. I wish we hadn't done it on a Sunday night. 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. We got home 3:45, kept on dancing on the kitchen floor. 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. 7 in the morning and I'm ready to scream. I was right in the middle of a beautiful dream. I dreamed I was singing in a big old band and didn't have to get up and go work for the man. Ooh. There may be life after you die, but life before breakfast is a stinking lie. 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. 5 more minutes, 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 5 more minutes. Give me 5 more minutes, honey, hit the snooze alarm. Thank you. I moved to Bellevue and had a housemate, and she taught me how to heat up milk and honey on the stove, and I've told this story endless times. And before going to bed, and I tried it, and it kept me awake all night. And so I wrote probably certainly the most complex song that I've ever written. It's called "Flying Dream." And I've sung it for all of you, and I've sung it so many times that I'm going to do something a little bit different this time. Back in 2013 or so, I spent 5 months making a stop-motion video of Flying Dream as animated on what's called the lattice of fifths and thirds. Oh, it's a way of organizing the notes of the scale in such a way that notes that harmonize are right next to each other. Whereas, on a keyboard, it's the opposite situation. If you play two notes that are right next to each other, they'll be dissonant. They won't harmonize. You have to be a little further apart in order to get a harmony. But on the lattice, the way it's organized, the notes that harmonize are close together, and the ones that are right next to each other on the keyboard are farther apart. So when you watch this stop motion video, you get some kind of a glimpse into the structure of the music that you can't get from a keyboard. The recording has 22 notes to the octave in it, which many of them are tuned very close to the 12 notes of the piano scale, but they're all off, almost all, except for the one note, the tonic of the song, the root, the main note. That's the same as the piano, but none of the other 21 is exactly the same as the piano. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share that video, if you'll put up with me. It's got thousands of individual photographs that were taken. I built a sound stage or a video stage with rice paper and drew on it with a Sharpie, and then used colored lenses and an LED that was backlighting the melody note. The red notes are the bass, the glowing yellow one is the melody, and all of the other ones are orange. So here is Flying Dream, animated on the lattice of fifths and thirds. Milk and honey on the stove, a big band on the radio. Open up the curtains to the sky. Fill my cup and hit the light and stare out at the starry night. I wonder if I'll ever learn to fly. It feels so easy, feels so right to rise above the city lights. I hope I have my flying dream tonight. I hope I have my flying dream tonight. I know I'm doing something right. I'm gliding down the street. I feel my body rise above the ground, dodging all the power lines and mountains that I meet. I'm free until the morning comes around, coming down. Bacon cooking on the stove, the Beatles on the radio. The sky is blue, the clouds are drifting by. I wonder how I got to be a prisoner of gravity. I know there's more to me than meets the eye. I know that I could fly right now if I could just remember how. I know I'll make it through the day all right if I can have my flying dream tonight. 'Cause it feels so easy, feels so right to rise above the city lights. I hope I have my flying dream tonight. I hope I have my flying dream tonight. and dream.
Very visual.
Visual, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A different way of looking at music.
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Kind of Chinese checkers.
Yeah, very good. Everybody wins. And the way it gravitates, the way it moves away from the center and moves towards the center. And then, since the notes are also retuned to match the natural intervals, there's a sweetness to the whole sound of it. It's different. The music sounds different. Yeah. I'm in the process of recording a whole CD, and I think I've mentioned that before. I'm calling it Untempered Music, and one song's in the can, and there's about 7 more or so that I've sketched out, done the calculations, sketched out the lattice, sketched out how the tunings should be, and worked up the rhythm, and anyway, it's well underway. It'll take a while. Yeah. You can find that video and many others on my YouTube channel and on my website. The GaryGarrett.me website has a whole book, like 90 different blog posts in chronological order that really carefully from the ground floor explain what the heck's going on in that video. Quite a big art project that was. I'm going to play Drivin'. It's another recording I'm really proud of. Used to love to go to Whidbey Island and visit my friend Barbara up there. We had fantastic times. One of those drives, I wrote this while I was driving Rory Wright's car. Sunday morning, Whidbey Island, I've got my pedal to the floor. Life is good here on Whidbey Island. The tourists don't come around anymore. I've got my 42 Chevy and a gallon of gasoline. You're the prettiest woman I have ever seen, and we're driving. Sunday morning, Whidbey Island, the air is cool and the road is clear. All alone here on Whidbey Island, since Andy's truck broke down last year. I haven't seen a vapor trail since 2044. I wonder if there's anyone on the mainland anymore, but we're driving. No particular place to go. Driving, nothing on the radio. Sunday evening, Whidbey Island, time to turn head for home. There is no bridge now from Whidbey Island. We've gone as far as we can go. I hear the crunch of gravel as I turn my car around. Your shadow right next to mine. The sun is going down and we're driving. No particular place to go. Driving, nothing on the radio. All right, thank you. Thanks. That was the first song that I wrote when I started to explore chords that were neither major nor minor. Minor and major chords really lock in the harmony into a particular feeling, and it's very it's restrictive. And so there are some other chords that don't include major and minor notes. The main chord of that song has only 2 notes in it. It's a B and an F sharp over and over and over again. So that sounds really different. Here's the major chord. It's a completely different feeling, and it really locks you into certain melody notes. Here's the minor chord. Same thing, it really locks you in. And that just leaves you wide open, so you can sing do 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 do. You know, your freedom and scales and tuning in the vocal are all liberated considerably by that, and that song is just full of those. So, and that's the first one I wrote that had that in it. So it's kind of an important song in my personal songwriting history. One of the famous bands that used those techniques, well, every rock band uses that. They do this called power chords, and those are chords that don't have a third in them, and that, you know, that's super important in rock music. But a band that really took advantage of that was the Police. Their chord progressions, you know, they used chords like this all the time. You know, stuff that was things. There's no major and no minor in that stuff. And the Police sound is really, Andy Summers, especially the guitarist, those are a very important part of their music. Okay, great. Speaking of mouth trumpet, I'll do a solo on this one.
Hey,
Somebody's muted who just said something. Okay.
oh, there, I'm back.
Okay,
I'm back.
great. Hi, Miles.
Miles.
Yeah, hi,
And
Miles.
can you play an excerpt from a Police song that shows what you just talked about?
Do, 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 do. I believe that's something like the main riff in Every Breath You Take. I'm not sure, but that's close. That might give you some idea of what kind of
Got
thing.
it.
Yeah, great. I went out looking for a job today. I said to myself, well, there ain't no way I'm gonna make a decent living in this crazy town. And every place I went to, they turned me down. And it's your fault, baby, it's all your fault. It's your fault, baby. It's all your fault, yeah. I'm in a spin. This condition I'm in is your fault, baby. It's all your fault. Ba-da-ba-doo-ba-doo-ba-da-ba. Ba-da-doo-ba-doo-doo. Ba-ba-doo-ba-da-ba-ba-ba-ba. 7 o'clock, you're still not home. 8, 9, 10 o'clock, I'm starting to moan. 1 in the morning, I'm walking the floor. By 3 a.m. I can't cry no more. And it's your fault, baby. It's all your fault. It's your fault, baby. It's all your fault, yeah. I'm in a spin. This condition I'm in is your fault, baby. It's all your fault, yeah. It's your fault. There ain't no justice. It's your fault, yeah. What can I do? It's no fun to blame myself. I'm so glad I got you. Drank my coffee and I made some more. My baby comes sneaking through the kitchen door. I said, what you coming home for? It's 6 a.m. She says, I've been sleeping with your best friend. And it's your fault, baby. It's all your fault. It's your fault, baby. It's all your fault, yeah. He treats me right. I spent the night and it's your fault, baby. It's all your fault, yeah. It's your fault. There ain't no justice. It's your fault, yeah. What can I do? It's no fun to blame myself. I'm so glad I got you. Thank you. I was playing underwater trumpet for a little while there in the middle of the song. What if SpongeBob played trumpet, you know? Yeah.
Gary, did that happen to you?
Yeah, it's a true story. Except she slept with her best friend, not my best friend, but if it was mine, it made a better song. It was a funnier line if it was my best friend.
Yeah. Was this when you were living in Seattle in the 80s?
No, that was when I was living in Memphis. I moved to Seattle right after my Memphis time. And my girlfriend there, wonderful girlfriend. But I was in my deep dive, my slide, personal into, staring at myself in the mirror and wondering why I was so fucked up. And it was drugs, of course. But anyway, we'll get into that another time. But but anyway, so she started to sort of drift away from me, and there was one night when she just never came home at all. And then the next day she came home, and I was, oh gosh, what happened? And she told me. She said, I slept with Jim, a guy I knew. And I've lost 3 women to a guy named Jim. I've had a bad run of Jims in my life. Different guys, of course.
Must be karma.
I don't know. It's the Jim thing, yeah. But but anyway, so years later, 40 years later, I gave her a call. I found her on Facebook and sent her a message and said, "Hey, shall we talk?" And I always thought she was upset with me, and and I never really. It was great to talk to her. She was not upset with me at all. She remembered our relationship fondly, and we had about a 3-hour conversation. And there were "I love yous" at the end. It was just wonderful. But during the call, she asked me, "Was it your fault about me? I always wondered." And I said, "Yep, yep, that song was about you." Got a chance to close that loop. Yeah.
I like that she listens to your music.
I know. I liked it. I liked it too. Yeah. Yeah. She was great. She was a carpenter. She could drive a 16-penny nail with 2 hits, one to set it and one to send it home. She had a lot of, and she was really, really nice. Yeah, one of the nicest people I've ever known. So yeah, she's passed away. She was actually dying of cancer when we had that phone call, and she never told me in 3 hours. We just had that phone call, and then she passed away soon after. So it's a poignant thing to know. Really, really glad we talked. This one is not a true story. A little bit. I mean, I've had this feeling before, but fundamentally, it's another exploration of these chords that don't have fifths and thirds in them. I mean, they have fifths, I'm sorry. They don't have major thirds or minor thirds in them. So I was just playing with this thing. This is one of those chords. It has an open string, it's a G, but it's got no thirds. Just those 2 notes, G and D. And I was messing around with what you could do over that and how free it was. And I came up with a riff that goes do 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 do. I remember playing that over and over again on the front deck of a ferry going to Whidbey Island to see my friends there. Here we go. I don't know what he did to you to make you this way. All I know is when I reach for you, you run away. I touch you and you run and hide and leave your body by my side. You're suddenly a million miles away. Please don't run away from my loving girl. Please don't run away from my loving. Please don't run away from my loving. I'll take you to a movie if you want me to. Give you something else to think about besides me and you. I wonder what you're frightened of. I wonder what you think of love. I wonder what you think I'm gonna do. But please don't run away from my loving girl. Please don't run away from my loving. Please don't run away from my loving. Well, maybe we should lock ourselves in a little room and look each other in the eye for a week or two. And maybe then you'll realize that I am not those other guys. I don't just want your body, I want you. Please don't run away from my loving girl. Please don't run away from my loving. Please don't run away from my loving. From my loving. From my loving. From my loving. This next song is the first one that I wrote completely away from the guitar, and that is it established a pattern for a long time. I'm actually kind of getting thinking about moving back to writing songs on guitar again after I've talked about the other methods so much, because I think that'll open other areas of creativity. So I'll let you know how that goes. Right now, at this point, I'm still writing my songs without turning to the guitar. I actually am finishing a new one, a brand new one, and it's the first one I've written in a couple of years. And it was rolling around in my head for 12 years or so without having all the lyrics finished. And during my forest bath, when I went into this fantastic old-growth Hawaiian forest for 2 weeks, and that's why I didn't have a Zoom call these last couple of weeks, is I was communing with the giant ancient tree ferns and the ohia trees, and oh man, it was really something. And I started finishing that song, so it's the lyrics are done now, and I'm working on getting it performance ready. I'll probably sing it next week or so. And that one again was done in my head, and then day before yesterday, was the day I finally brought it to the guitar. And what a day that is, when I have the whole thing going on, and I can hear it in my head, and then I get out the guitar and find out what I can do that matches what I hear in my head. And super rewarding. All right, enough about songwriting. Let's play a song. I call you on the telephone. You tell me that you're all alone. I curl up in my easy chair and then pretend I got you there to love me like you did before. You took your loving out my door. I never like to let you go. Oh babe, I love you so. You better jump my bones when you get home. Ooh yeah, you've been gone too long. You better jump my bones when you get home. Ooh yeah. Boom ba doom boom, ba doom ba doom boom, ba doom ba doom boom. Love you when you're gone away. You know I know you're not to blame. I love the things you do to me. Without you, girl, it's not the same. You better jump my bones when you get home. Ooh yeah, you've been gone too long. You better jump my bones when you get home. Ooh yeah, ooh yeah. Ay 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 ay. Ra da 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 da. Ba da ba da ba da ba ba do ba 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 do ba do do ba do ba do ba do ba do.